Hey, welcome to the Drop and Stone podcast, the podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
And I'm Kyle.
Kyle!
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
It's going. Good to see you, man.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Welcome back to the library.
I was going to say, you're again in the library.
Yeah, no, I welcome you.
You beat me to it. Yeah. Well, this is your recording space.
Yeah, this is where we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And a good recording space it is. Look at how pretty all of this is.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But we are back together, and I think it's about time that we drank something.
Agreed.
What do you want to drink this week?
Man, I pulled out some bottles that we've had for a bit.
Have we?
Yeah, we've tasted them, but we haven't done anything with them.
I don't remember this. I don't know if that bodes well.
It may not. We've got a couple of Jack Daniels bottles.
Oh, we like us some Jack Daniels, depending.
You know, we love that single barrel proof.
Yeah, you got one on the shelf right there. What's the proof
one.
of that?
That one.
124?
132.
Oh.
0.4.
Oh.
66.2.
Wow.
That's a kicker.
Yeah. These are not that, though.
No. We've got the Jack Daniels Triple Mash.
Okay.
And the Jack Daniels Bonded.
These are recent bottles. Like, they came out, early summer? Maybe late spring?
Yeah, maybe late spring.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're following in on that new trend of special releases that pretty much everybody's getting on board with.
And I don't blame them.
Oh, yeah, no, me neither.
Because, even though you're the big boy whiskey in town,
Yep.
you still got to differentiate yourself just a
You
little
still
bit.
got to stay fresh.
Stay relevant,
Yep.
for sure. So these are interesting bottles in that they are, 700 mils?
Yeah. They're a little unique in that aspect.
Yeah.
That they're giving you a little less.
Yeah.
But I think that's got something to do with international.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Shipping and stuff
or maybe
like
you
that.
told me that, one of the two.
Yeah.
Of in order to make it easier to ship or something. I don't
Something
know.
like that.
So that means that they're robbing us of almost a full pour here.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah, give or take.
Jack Daniels, come on. I do know that these were kind of hard bottles to find when they first came out.
When they first came out, just because I think, that's
Everybody
what you're
wanted
trying to
them. Right,
do. You know,
right.
you're trying to create interest and desire. And
Sure.
Yeah, when they first came out, they were hard to get. I kind of see them everywhere now, though.
Yeah. and although I see them everywhere, people are still at least liquor stores in general are still putting them higher than I think they maybe should be sold at MSRP. Really? Just because that hype was there.
Yeah.
But I think being Jack Daniels, you got this big boy whiskey name behind you.
Yep.
They pushed out so much of this product that it didn't really create a scarcity. And I think that might have worked against them a little bit.
Perhaps. I mean, I think, it's one of those things that there's a balancing act there.
100%.
And they at least, triggered some interest.
Exactly.
In a release. I mean, there's already so many variations of Jack Daniels
Right.
anyway.
Exactly.
But to get a new one, good on them. I mean,
yeah.
it's not like, it's not like they're hurting either because they got those Coy Hill Farm releases that are impossible to get unless you're at the distillery waiting in line for however long.
Yeah, miles long. It's a weird line. Yeah.
So,
but
good on them for doing a thing.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that it's this idea of everybody else is doing it. We need to cash in on it too.
Hop
it's not
on
that
board.
difficult for us to do. We can make this pretty easy.
Get on that train.
Choo choo.
Chugga,
Yeah, I
chugga.
saw what you did there.
Yep.
Which one do you want to open first?
Let's start, I think, with the Bonded.
Okay.
From, reviews and things that I've seen.
Sure.
And I haven't, honestly, you can tell, I haven't had much out of these.
Out of either now.
The Bonded seems to be the lesser of the two.
Okay.
People seem to generally like the Triple Mash a little bit better.
Okay.
So we'll start there.
What do we know about this?
They are Jack Daniels products.
Okay.
The Jack Daniels Bonded, obviously, 100 proof.
Okay.
See if there's some stuff on the bottom.
Well, I'm going to grab the triple mash just so we can kind of talk about them both like that.
Here you go. I'll give you the bottle words.
Okay.
All right, so this one, Bonded,
Uh-huh.
is a big, bold Texas whiskey with layered notes of caramel-rich oak and spice.
Texas whiskey.
Did I say Texas?
You did.
Wow.
Did you mean Tennessee?
We'll start over.
Okay.
Bonded is a big, bold Tennessee whiskey
Okay.
with layered notes of caramel, rich oak, and spice, giving way to a pleasantly lingering finish.
We'll be the judge of that, Jack Daniels. You hold your tongue.
Bottled in bond, distilled by a single distiller during a single season, and matured in a government-bonded warehouse for at least
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
100 proof.
Interesting. So the triple mash is also bottled in bond?
Yep.
It is also 100 proof.
Yep.
It is also 4 years, at least aged for at least 4 years.
Yep.
Single season. Here's the difference, though.
Yep.
This is a blend of 3 bonded whiskeys, hence the triple mash.
Triple mash.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, you could say that one of the bonded whiskeys is in the triple mash.
Probably.
So it's kind of cool that, like, I could see, like, this meeting.
They're related.
Right.
They're kissing cousins because they're from Tennessee.
I take that one out.
I'm from Alabama. I can say it.
Okay. Well, I can't because I'm from neither state. And I don't want the Dreppen Stoners writing in
I'm
like,
from the Tennessee Valley.
Of Alabama?
Yeah.
Is that why there are banjos I hear in the background? Y'all just play banjos around here?
Just exudes wherever we go.
Exudes banjo.
Yeah.
I think Maria would disagree heartily. I could see this meeting though. Like, okay, y'all listen. I got an idea.
Right.
Sit down.
All right.
All right, we're gonna make a bonded whiskey.
All right.
Okay, make a bonded whiskey.
Let's do it.
Then here's what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take 3 of those bonded whiskeys and we're gonna mix them.
Ooh.
What? I know. And then we're gonna call that a whole new product because guess what?
What?
It's a whole new product. What do you think?
Brilliant.
Sign me up. Let's go.
Yep.
Wrap it up. Done. Meeting over.
Package it.
Let's go drink some whiskey.
Put a label on it.
Yeah. I mean, short one. It's a short meeting. Anyway, I'm ready to get into it.
Same. I'm just going to look up Jack Daniel's Triple Mash to see if we get any info on that mash.
Was there another version while you're looking that up? Was there 3 released?
Mm-mm.
It was just these two.
Just these two.
Okay. I don't know why. Maybe I'm thinking of the Benchmark had a bunch of different releases, which I have all of those.
Yeah.
And we'll do that as a tasting.
I've got the foolproof.
You got the foolproof. We'll do that as a tasting at some point.
The rest.
Yeah. I had to.
I did not.
I believe that.
I was not sold on the whole thing. I was like, I'm not going to let you do it to me.
I let them do it to me.
Like, I was in that same, like, I'm having that internal battle right now still with that Lagavulin foolproof. But I'm like, God damn you, Diageo. I'm not going to let you do it to me.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I've always known, like, the one over here at the one by Publix has got it, but it's $170.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to let you do it to me. Everything that I read is like, it's way overpriced. They're pricing it that high because they know people pay for it.
Oh,
people
for
are
sure.
suckers. And I'm like, they're like, it's not worth it. It's good, but
worth
that price is ridiculous. All right. Mash bill, 60% Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye.
Okay. Whoa.
Which, okay, that's cool. So yeah, they give you the 3 different mash bills and they break down those 3.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool.
Do we want to get into that nuance? Hey,
yeah, I think so.
All right. So the trip, so the bonded is one of those then, right? The bonded is one of those?
No, it's not.
Oh. Okay.
That's its own separate thing.
All right. So I want to nerd out on some mash bills real quick.
Get geeky with me.
Yeah, for sure.
I have the 3 different Jack Daniel's whiskeys that they put together to make this triple mash.
Okay. Wait. So each whiskey has its own mash bill.
Yep.
They blended 3 whiskeys together to make one mash bill, one blend.
One big blend.
Okay.
Yep.
What are the 3 mash bills of the triple mash?
All right. The 3 whiskeys are the Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye.
Oh, okay.
The Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey.
Interesting.
And the Jack Daniel's American Malt.
Okay. All bonded at that point. So that's
I don't know.
Well, it has to be because it says it's bonded. So they all have to be bonded.
Sure.
So even then, like at that point, you're already.
If you're just taking the mash and then they can put those together and then aging it in the oak to create the bonded.
It says a blend of 3 bonded whiskeys. So
okay, so then
yeah. By the way, they're saying that like each is bonded. Okay,
I got you.
All right, what is the first one? The Tennessee Rye.
Well, so the Tennessee Rye, you're getting 60% of that in this.
Okay. Oh.
And that is 70% rye,
Wow.
18% corn, 12% malted barley.
Interesting. And that comprises 60% of the liquid in this bottle.
Correct.
Okay.
The second, the Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey,
which is probably their regular Jack.
probably just regular Jack.
Yeah.
You're getting 20% of that.
Okay.
And that's 80% corn, 12% rye, 8% malted barley.
Okay.
The third, the Jack Daniel's American Malt, 100% malted barley.
Whoa. That's really interesting.
Yeah. So
and that comprises
it'd be interesting
20%.
then to go back and add up all those things to see what is in this.
Correct. Versus
in terms of like corn, rye, malted barley.
So here's what I'm hearing though. I'm hearing high rye. Like if you were to kind of like, do some quick math.
Got to be at least.
Yeah. Okay. What about the bonded? What we got a mash bill on the bonded?
Hold, please.
Pausing.
Okay. Mash bill for the Jack Daniel's bonded is 80% corn, 12% malted barley, 8% rye.
So regular Jack Daniels just bonded.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably, Jack Daniels bonded Tennessee whiskey, yeah.
Okay, so then I was right. So
100 proof.
Yeah. So then what they did is they just, again, back to my meeting example, they took the Jack Daniels bonded and then they added that as part of the triple mash.
Sure.
And then they just added some other things.
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I wasn't thinking of that being just regular Jack, but it's bonded now.
Right.
I was thinking of that being like its own separate thing. But yeah.
Am I right?
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Same page.
Different books?
together
Like
now.
okay, good. Good. Well, how about you open one and I open the other?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to open mine first.
Oh, that one was in there.
Nice.
Yeah, they've been in there.
Yeah.
They've had time to like reassess themselves. Kind of sound like a fresh pop.
That's a pour. You might want to. I might want to split that.
AF. Nah, that one's mine.
I'm gonna make a smaller pour for me.
Okay.
There you go.
Well done.
Thank you. I like it.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Tennessee whiskey.
All right.
Been a minute.
It has been a minute. We got all the things poured up. It's ready to go. Look at that spread, Kyle. Delicious.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so we're starting with the bonded.
Sure.
All right, let's
Start with the bonded.
Looks like bourbon
Brown liquor.
or Tennessee whiskey.
Like Tennessee whiskey. Looks CharcoMellowed from here.
Charco.
CharcoMellow.
CharcoMellow. CharcoMellow. I had that candy once. A CharcoMellow.
That sounds like it ought to be a candy bar.
CharcoMellow.
CharcoMellow.
It's just a piece of charcoal covered in marshmallow with a graham
Fluff.
cracker crust. Here you go, kids. Delicious.
This tastes like shit. It has been a minute since
Whoa.
I nosed a Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, it's really funny when you haven't had a Tennessee whiskey in a while, and then you go back to it. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what makes a Tennessee
You
whiskey.
forget. You forget.
There's
the
a
amount.
very distinct nose.
Well, it's distinct and it is sweet.
Yeah,
So sweet,
I can smell that CharcoMellow.
man.
CharcoMellow.
Yeah, no, I do get like a little,
There's a woody note,
little oaky char note.
but yeah, sweet AF.
Candy something. Like I'm trying to think of the specific candy.
It is like caramel fudge. Like it is just toffee, caramel fudge, Werther's. You got your thinking cap on.
I know it's not coming to me though. I can't put my finger on it. I'm getting a lot of like those chocolate covered cherries that you get at the holidays,
like the cordial, cherry cordials or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
that are like have like there's like some sort of a
creamy center. Those.
yeah.
Oh,
it's got like that maraschino in there.
Are they like queen cherries? Or
yeah,
something? Is that what they're
Queens
called? Something.
Queens chocolate covered cherries.
Something like that. I'm getting a peanut buttery note.
Really?
Could be this glass. Did you drink Old Granddad out of this glass? This dirty glass?
Leftover. I gotta say, man, after not nosing a Tennessee whiskey in a while, like this is fun.
Yeah.
That's a good nose.
I'm not getting a whole lot of proof, and I don't mind it.
No, but if I like really like inhale deep, it kind of makes me tear up a little bit.
Well. Woo. All right.
It's time.
Enough sniffing. Time for sipping. That's going on the Dreppin' Stone t-shirt.
I like that.
I think I said that in a Pour Dreppin' Stone.
Did you?
Yeah. Enough sipping. Time
for sipping.
Enough sniffing. Time for sipping. I have to be a new catchphrase. Whoa. Hello, Tennessee whiskey. Wow.
Man, that 100 proof is kicking
Are
there.
you seriously not getting peanut butter? Dude, I am getting like peanut brittle.
Huh.
Are you sure you didn't like
I got nothing but proof on that one.
Wow.
Like, even though we only jumped up 6 proof points,
this might be a dirty glass.
that one just kicked me.
Whoa. That is it. Peanut brittle. Holy crap.
No, mine's leaning way more cherry. I get some peanut butter on the back end.
Whoa. That's like peanut butter. Okay, I see the
Like
cherry.
burnt peanut butter.
Like burned peanut butter and like cherry jam.
Peanut butter on toast.
Yes. Peanut butter on like,
over toasted bread.
yeah, like you're really well done.
Got a little bit of that burn on it.
Yeah, like a crispy bits.
Yeah. Chunky peanut butter. Not smooth.
Chunky peanut butter, crispy bread, maybe a crispy rye bread even. I would even go this that far.
you ain't wrong. Yeah, there is some rye on that.
Yeah.
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 That's more like the cherry
Okay.
that I'm getting
I
is
can see
now leaning rye. Yeah.
I just like peanut butter bomb. That's another candy coming out. Peanut butter bomb. Wow. Okay. Now that I've sat with it for a second,
Yeah.
now it's way leaning cherry.
Yeah.
Now it's like like you're saying the cherry cordial or whether the Queen's cherries, whatever those are, for sure.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is a cool roller coaster.
It's so funny. I'm totally starting to get the influence on the peanut butter now.
Wow.
You took a cherry cold,
Yeah.
a cherry cordial,
I don't know.
cordial.
There it
a
is.
cherry cordial, and you dip that in some peanut butter. That would be nasty, I think. But in liquid form, it's all right.
I'd try it.
In liquid form, it's okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
you said this is the worst of the two?
That's the general take. That's the general take is people prefer. I don't know that I've heard anybody say that like, nah, don't really like any of them.
Oh, okay. It's just
but it's more like,
prefer.
no, we prefer that one.
Okay, well, so far, if that's the case, like I'm really looking for that triple mash because this is delightful.
Yeah, this is pretty fun.
What's really nice about it too is that the mouth feel and the finish spot on. Like it's right dead center.
Oh yeah,
it's,
totally.
It's not watery. It's not super thick, and then that finish just leaves you with a really nice like even keel, bitter and proof, and that's great.
Yeah, it's a fun ride all the way through. Nothing
is.
ever really jumps out, and no curveballs. It noses like it tastes.
Oh yeah,
nothing really any different there.
For sure. And I'm not disappointed by that. Like normally I want a little bit of some differentiation. I'm not disappointed by that at all because you get such prominent and different notes within this in both.
Yeah, I mean that can go either way. A curveball can go either way.
Oh yeah.
You can curveball into a great situation. You can also curveball out of a disappointing and be like, oh, that's not as
or
good
into a
as
disappointing. Yeah,
right. That's not as good as it nosed.
All right, I'm gonna save just a little bit of this because I need to pair.
Well, yeah, you do need to.
Yeah,
I can.
You've already done it. You've already paired. Yeah, you can drink all you want. This is your Libari.
Hot dang.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Good stuff.
That last sip, I just got cherry. All right.
Triple mash in hand.
Okay, so predominantly rye in the 60% of the makeup of this. That 60% has a lot of rye, and then you got one that's
even the next 20% still has rye in it.
Correct, and then you got the next 20% 100% malted barley. So I'm really interested in this.
Yeah, they look like the exact same color.
Yeah,
no
for
change,
sure.
No change in the color.
No. But the nose, wow, that is fun, man. That is interesting.
Yeah, definitely different nose.
For sure. The nose on the triple mash is a little more subdued, which I would
1,000%.
I would assume it'd be more rye heavy, so it'd be like more spiky notes.
Right, with as much what we think we kind of were getting rye in that cherry thing,
right? Or
at least for me, yeah, I would think this would be like a little punch a little higher, but it's a little quieter. You know, I heard a cool thing. You know the guy Ralphie, the whiskey guy on YouTube.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Ralphie. Yeah.
He said for every year in the bottle, give it a minute in the glass. Let it open up. Let it breathe a little bit. I was like, hot shit.
I don't have 16 minutes. I'm drinking a Lagavulin. I need that now.
Well, it's preparation.
Okay. I like that.
Definitely getting some rye now.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that. I feel like just being in here for a second, swirling it, now letting it rest.
I'm with you. Ralphie knows what he's talking about.
I know.
I mean, that's why he's the friend of the show.
Scotsmen.
Dripping stoners.
Yeah. Rye, honey rye.
I just splashed in my glasses and face. Man. It's not an episode of Dripping Stone if I'm not wearing whiskey at this point.
It had to happen at some point.
I was good last episode.
Were you?
Yeah, I didn't spill any on me.
We'll check the video.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting honey on rye bread. Toasted rye bread.
For sure. I'm getting that peanut butter note gone completely.
Yep.
Not there at all. That cherry note gone completely.
Definitely more straightforward rye.
Honey, like buttered honey toast on rye. Buttered honey rye. Whew. And like not burned rye. The bonded burned rye.
Yeah.
Had
like more toasty element.
Like golden toasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's delightful too. But it is way less punchy and way more subdued, sorry.
Yeah, way more peanut butter.
Way less peanut butter. Way more peanut butter
on the bonded, yeah. Oh man. I need a sip.
Let's do it. Going in. Oh. Wow. Wow.
That's velvety.
That is totally different.
That is creamy.
Yeah. It's like the difference between like a stout and a stout with lactose.
In a textury way.
Correct. Yeah. Like a regular stout, and then the triple mash is like a stout with lactose. Like it becomes, you said velvety. That's perfect. It becomes velvety.
Velvety, creamy, buttery.
That's what I'm saying. Like that buttery note that I was getting on the nose, I totally get here. It's like a high quality, like what's that Irish butter? It's like $1 million a stick. Kerrygold. Oh, so damn good. It's worth every penny, but expensive.
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of.
Where was that? What did you use that in?
What?
There was a cocktail.
Oh, I used it in the hot toddy.
In the hot toddy.
Yeah.
Had that Kerry
or
Gold.
the hot buttered rum, one of the two.
Oh, yeah. It
It was
was buttered
hot-
rum.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Totally worth it. That was like $1,000 buttered rum.
Gonna have to recreate that episode.
Or was it a butter? It wasn't buttered rum. It was buttered whiskey, right? Or did we use rum?
No, I think.
I don't remember. It was delicious,
That was a
or
long
it
time
wasn't.
ago. That
I don't know.
that was year 1, wasn't it?
What year is this? Who knows?
This is year 3.
We're in year 3. We're starting year 4 by the time this comes out. I know. We're terrible at dates.
That's going to be 3. Well, I thought about it today.
Yeah.
Because we referenced that in the coffee episode of we realize it day of.
Yeah.
But the problem is day of comes out at least 2 weeks later.
Sure. We don't
So
know.
we've already missed it. Like today actually probably should have been an Oktoberfest episode.
Correct. Well,
We'll get it at the 1st of October.
or we won't.
Or we won't. It'll be middle October.
Or hell, Oktoberfest
or
in July.
November. Who fucking knows?
Listen, we can celebrate these holidays and milestones whenever we want, Kyle. I watch your Just a Thought on Patreon. Just because it's a milestone doesn't mean that we need to celebrate it right then and there.
And that's the cool thing about milestones is sometimes they just fucking sneak up on you
Correct.
and slap you in the face.
Correct.
And I'm how old? Shit.
Right.
That one hurt.
Okay.
You know what's weird?
What?
You know what's starting to come out now?
What?
I'm starting to get some cherry in the nose.
I'm getting just honey bomb. Like,
Yeah, there's still a ton of honey.
Like, it
but now I'm starting
legit-
to poke through some
it
cherry.
tastes to me like you took honey and you just cut it with some Jack Daniels. And I'm not disappointed
With some
by that.
whiskey. Yeah.
Like, really, I'm not disappointed by it at all. It's quite delicious.
This is one of those times I really honestly wish I had just
Regular
an
Jack?
old number 7.
Yeah. I got like
Just
a
to
20-year
compare.
bottle,
Just to
20-year-old bottle at home.
Yeah, we sipped on that.
Yeah, we did. Friends of the podcast. That was a good night.
Very good night.
Oh, man. Okay, so real quick, can you make a decision? You know what? Should we, for science, Kyle?
Yep.
Should well, I'm gonna ask you
Should we open the single barrel
for science.
for science?
No, I mean we should open the single barrel, but the problem is, you and I both know that single barrel is gonna just destroy this.
Oh yeah, no, you'd have to acclimate, and then when you went back to these, they're gonna be nothing.
Yeah.
So for sure,
Yeah.
before we do that, pick one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So for science, I'm gonna give a quick swirly swirl in the glass. I'm gonna go back to the bonded on the nose. Okay. I'm gonna go
That's
back.
kind of not fair.
I'm gonna go back to the triple mash on the nose. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the bonded on the palate.
Well, no. Go give it on the nose first.
We'll
give
limit.
it on the nose first.
Okay.
Before you go back palate.
Let me do it right quick again. That's
mean,
difficult.
That is really difficult. They're both 5 out of 5. I've got to be honest. I think they're both really nice noses.
Okay. I'm gonna give the nose to the triple mash.
I'm gonna give the nose to the bonded.
Okay.
I think it's got a little bit stronger nose.
I agree.
Speaks out a little bit more. And I think they're both great. So
I don't
that one,
disagree.
the volume's a little louder.
I don't disagree, but I think that's why I'm giving it to the triple mash, because I like that like soft, warm, rounded, like just hot buttered toast.
I don't disagree. That's a great nose.
Yeah. Okay. On the palate now?
Palate.
That is hard, man.
It
Like,
really is.
Wow.
I think there's a more predominant oaky note
On the triple mash.
on the on the bonded. I think it has
On
have a little bit more barrel note.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The charred. Yeah. Okay. I think that's where that charred burned note is coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
And I kind of like that, but
Okay.
that whole creamy buttery thing that's happening in the bonded or in the triple mash is.
I've got it.
Give me a second.
Yep. Take all the time you need, bud.
Okay.
Okay. Should we say it on 3 or just go for it?
We'll say it on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, not really fair. Not really fair to pick one.
I
'Cause
disagree.
I think they're really different, and I don't think one is far superior.
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think it's fair to say like absolutely the bonded, but I think that
Okay.
that barrel
If you're gonna say
finish
like
on it
definitive,
speaks volumes.
yeah.
But here it's kind of like, I don't know, the triple mash, the first half wins out. First half.
Yeah. I agree with that too.
It's the finish on this one that I prefer a little bit.
I will say on the bonded, it's the finish, and it's at the same thing I love out of a Jim Beam product, the Granddad peanut note. And for me, it's, I mean, what you said, I think just qualifies this so perfectly. It is chunky peanut butter on too much toasted rye bread with just like a hint, and I added this part, a hint of cherry jam.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're dead on.
And that's
it.
That is what this is.
Over toasted bread.
Yep.
Peanut butter.
Over toasted rye bread.
Rye bread.
Yep.
Chunky peanut butter. Smidge of cherry jam.
Yep. And that is delicious.
You're right.
Okay. With that being said, good on you, Jack Daniels. Because,
Right.
I mean, I think it's easy. I think the whiskey world, it is easy to shit on Jack Daniels.
It's easy to punch down.
100%.
Y'all are everywhere. You're the big guy. And you don't do craft. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not doing any kind of special releases, you know. But actually, you are.
You are. And I defy.
But you're just not on that list. You're not on
Right.
that. You're not on that Blanton's.
Your name isn't Buffalo Trace,
Right.
And you're not the popular thing right now.
Right.
You are the popular thing because you're selling a shitload of whiskey,
Right.
But you're not like the it thing,
Right. So for the consumer, it's
Right.
easy to punch down.
Sure. Well, not for the consumer. I would say for the whiskey, a certain kind of whiskey snob.
But still a consumer.
Oh yeah.
You know,
for sure.
For the consumer, it's easy to be like Jack Daniels,
Right.
whatever.
Get that swill out of my face.
Yeah, no, give me some of that antique collection.
Correct.
They don't have that.
But
Good on you if that's your thing.
But okay,
on.
Other than, to be fair, we both already did it. You know, your regular 80 proofer JD. Okay, there's just not a lot to think about. It's watery, it's thin. There's not a lot to think about.
For sure, it is. It's 80 proof. It's thin. It's
Sure.
just.
But when you talk about the kind of different expressions of Jack Daniels, you think about the single barrel proof. You think about these two. I mean, even the Gentleman Jack, which changes things up a little bit.
Right.
They're good products. The liquid in the glass
Yeah.
is good stuff.
Yeah. Totally.
And I mean, you and I have sung the praises of the single barrel proof for years at this point.
Yeah, that was one of the earlier episodes.
Yeah, I still, when someone's like, "What is your most surprising whiskey?" or "What is a whiskey that I would be surprised you drink?" It's the single barrel proof. I mean, 65, sometimes $70. It is a damn good bottle.
Yeah.
It is a Jack Daniels product, and it's so good.
Yeah, for sure.
So like this, to me, the triple mash and the bonded are within that same wheelhouse.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, a Jack Daniels product at 100 proof that can have this much flavor,
Right.
this many flavors, take you on this much of a kind of a journey. There's nothing to not like here.
No. And now that these are becoming easier to find, you
I
should
know,
go
like-
pick up a bottle.
Yeah, totally. Good on you, because like they're out there and you can find them.
That wasn't subtle at all. You can. They're definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, if you haven't had it, absolutely.
No, and I would say, like, you know, I don't know what they're like in a local establishment. Like, are they difficult to find a pour of? But if you don't want to buy a whole bottle or seek out a full bottle, try and find you a pour.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can, honestly, if you find both of them, I recommend getting both.
Absolutely. Like, they're both fantastic. I totally would recommend both. Just so that you can have this experience of putting
Exactly.
them together and trying them both. What is interesting, though, is like I have noticed that a lot of the liquor stores that I frequent have one or the other.
I know. I haven't seen
It's
both.
rarely ever both together.
Well, I talked to a local guy, and we were talking about this because I went to a local liquor store first to find this over like a big box.
Right.
And I was asking him about it, and he's like, "Well, they're allocated for me." And I was like, "Oh,
I wonder
okay."
what that means.
Well, I think it's their distributors, at least in our area of Florida. I think it's the distributors. And granted, this was back late spring, early summer. So when they were coming out and the distributors were trying to hold things back.
Right.
So for him, he said, these are allocated for me. I'm going to get, 20 bottles, and I'm only going to get one or the other.
Right.
And so I think that
Wow.
was a thing. Yeah, I think that was a thing.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I ended up not
At
pulling the
this
trigger
point,
on it back then.
I forget where I got them,
Yeah.
but I know I bought them together.
Yeah.
I know I didn't.
I
buy
saw them
separately.
recently at a wine totally.
Well, I mean, I feel like when I see them, I see the bonded more frequently.
I agree.
But I know that there's a store that I go to that they
You
only
find the
have
triple mash?
triple mash.
Yep. All right, now that we've got two great pours, Kyle,
We do.
I'm a smidge empty. I might.
Do what you got to do, my friend.
Okay. Give me just a second. You want to introduce the topic while I give me a pour?
Indeed. So this topic was introduced by yourself.
Pause.
Was
Continue.
introduced by yourself in a little video series that we do on Patreon. It's called Just a Thought. Nick and I, we have these brilliant thoughts that they don't necessarily have the full potential engaged just yet. So we share them on Patreon. We make a video, we share it, and we discuss back and forth. And then there's the response that goes along with it. As soon as Nick shared this thought, I immediately said, hey, this needs an episode in and of itself. That's a great thought. And here we are.
I love that
we're going to have this thought.
Everyone on Patreon and YouTube, like they're watching you talk directly to them, which doesn't happen a whole lot.
While you're pouring,
I'm pouring
some more whiskey.
I know.
Just how we do.
And so what Kyle's referring to is my just a thought on optimism.
Optimism, yeah.
Optimism.
So, how long ago did you share that thought?
By the time this comes out, let's say
about a month ago.
Yeah, probably by the time this comes out, about a month ago.
Yeah,
for sure. What got me thinking about optimism? First of all, it was raining that day, and Carol and I just finished a show called Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso. There are 2 seasons of Ted Lasso on Apple Plus. I recently, Kyle, I made a jump to the Mac Cult. There you go. Rub that whiskey.
Cult. Yeah, you
the
did.
Mac Cult. Yeah, I bought a Mac, and I am impressed. I've been an iPhone user for a while.
Yeah,
I bought a Mac. I'm
like
impressed. I do.
You like
I do.
The integrated.
I really do,
stuff.
And I like what's going on with the Mac. Anyway, so all of that to say, with my new Mac came a subscription to Apple TV Plus or Apple Plus TV. I forget how they call it. Yeah, everything's Plus now, Kyle.
I know. One company
goes for it. They're like,
we're all in.
We're plussing it up around here. So I engaged in that because I wanted to watch 2 different shows. One was Ted Lasso.
Yep.
It's a story about a football team or a college
soccer?
A college football coach goes to England to coach a Premier League soccer team.
Gotcha.
Indeed. Yeah.
Sorry.
And it's
you can
okay.
redo that if you like.
No, I'm not going to redo that at all. I thought it was good. It was very American.
Okay. I was like, I thought it was. I'm sorry. I see where you're going.
Yeah. It is fantastic. It is really good.
I know.
It is a show that I think is, if you are not an Apple TV Plus subscriber, it is worth at the very least giving it a month to do that, to binge through that.
It's a whole nother conversation of every single one of these streaming services has something brilliant that you want to see. And it's like, I just need to get it for a month, and then I need to cancel it so I can watch, so I can binge that thing.
Yeah, it's like what everybody does for Netflix now.
Yeah, and that totally is Ted Lasso.
Yeah, and it's really good. It won a bunch of awards. It won a bunch of Emmys. Great show.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend it. But Ted Lasso as a character, that's the name of the eponymous character, the central character here. He is an optimist to the extreme.
Okay.
And that got me thinking about optimism as a whole.
Right.
And how I'm the more I think about optimism, I'm reading a couple books on philosophy here, and some books on stoicism, and I'm thinking that optimism, for me anyway, is a choice. And I think choosing optimism. So that's the conversation that I think we should have.
Okay. Is
about optimism, the pitfalls of optimism, the advantages of optimism, and optimism being a choice. Because he is the ever-present optimist in every situation.
Right. Say that again. Break it down that way.
Okay.
Optimism as a choice. Optimism.
The pitfalls of optimism.
The pitfalls and
the advantages.
The advantages. I like that.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's a good way to
I literally came up with that on the fly.
Breaking down that as a thing. Okay.
Everyone on Patreon will see I have no notes.
There legit was a page of notes, but they fell down a long time ago.
Okay. Do you want me to grab it?
No, sir.
They weren't my notes. They were your notes from our conversation yesterday or 2 days ago.
They're very
scribbled.
I was going to say they're very Inception notes, like a conversation about a conversation that we had 3 weeks ago. Boom.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, totally. I think that's a great way to break down the conversation.
Sure.
All right. So what was the first one?
The advantages, the pitfalls, a choice of optimism.
It was reverse.
Sure.
But I like it.
Thank you.
So I'm definitely somebody who I see myself as an optimist.
Okay.
And the way that I view myself as an optimist is very much in my approach. So I think it is like a precursor to any situation. Because I think in any given situation to me, and the way that I generally view optimism is the most important aspect of it is in the approach of the thing.
Yes.
It's not while you're in it and you're experiencing it or looking back on it. It's in the approach.
Correct.
Personally, my personal philosophy is like, it's good to go into a situation optimistically.
So I am going to a McDonald's.
Yep.
To get a meal.
Have a meal.
And and I am optimistically thinking this is going to be great.
So good.
Not when I have the burger unwrapped in my car.
Right.
Not afterwards, but like before I get there.
Right.
Okay.
Afterwards, I've understood the mistake that I've made, and I've got the mayonnaise coated lettuce on my chest.
Sure. Your chest? You're bare chested in your car?
You know it. That's how you eat McDonald's, my guy.
Bare chested and gross.
You unbutton the thing. If it's a t-shirt, it's gone. It's hulked off of you.
Oh, yeah?
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good distinction to make.
Yes.
Okay.
At that point in time, that's not the point for optimism.
Sure.
That's the point for realism.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Optimism is going into it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe at that point, maybe looking in that aspect of, I'm hungry and I need to eat right now.
Okay.
I'm going to McDonald's. I'm optimistically going to choose options.
So here's my play. In situations that I've been in the past, I always choose realism over anything else.
Going into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meaning like I've been to a McDonald's before. I am not going into it optimistically. I'm going into it like this experience is
Desperately.
Not even desperately. Maybe
necessity.
If I'm at a McDonald's, like shit's real. Like something has gone wrong in that day, and like we have to.
We are at McDonald's.
Correct. Like that is not me. Like not me shitting on the choices of others to go to McDonald's. That is me just saying like. In my own life, if I'm at a McDonald's, something has gone wrong that day.
There's a problem that needs a solution.
Correct. And this is our solution right now because it's convenient.
Sure. Right.
So what I mean by that is like, if I'm going into that situation, I'm a realist of like, this is not going to be good. I'm just looking for sustenance, I guess, at that point. Okay.
Sure.
But in situations that I'm unfamiliar with, I go in with cautious optimism. Meaning like, I hope things are going to go well. I expect things are going to go well, but I'm not surprised when they don't.
Interesting.
Okay.
Cautious optimism.
Okay. So for example, I'm visiting a new city I've never been to.
Okay.
I want this vacation or this trip to go well. I think it's going to go well. I think I've planned or I've chosen or I've at least done enough research that I think it's going to be fine, but I won't be surprised if there's a bad part of it. Like I'm not like everything's going to be, rose colored and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be the best trip ever. I'm not that optimistic. I'm like, okay, I think it's going to be good, but I'm not like this is going every trip or everything new thing I experience is going to be the best I've ever had.
Right.
That's not what I think.
Well, and I think that's interesting. Like I think cautious optimism is like leaving the door open for that bad thing to happen.
As in like
because you're being cautious.
You think it's going to have
full out optimism.
Right.
Full out optimism is like doors closed. This is going to be the best vacation ever.
Correct.
There will be no hiccups.
Everything's going to be fine. Right.
So when the bad thing happens, it has to crash through that door.
Absolutely.
Whereas like cautious optimism is, I think it's more or less like how much of the door are you leaving open? Is it just unlocked?
Correct.
So that you can open it?
Yeah.
Or is it like it's wide open? Come on in. Or is it like it's just creaked open? It's like that level of optimism that you're allowing it.
And so that brings me back real quick to Ted Lasso in that he is a character that is 100% optimistic.
Doors locked.
And when shit goes bad, it's like, how can I slam the door in that negativity's face and turn this frown upside down kind of thing?
Interesting.
Which is a problem I have because sometimes shit just sucks. Sometimes things are not good.
Agreed.
And that I don't think someone who is super optimistic is like, shit just sucks and I have to make this bad thing good. I think that like that kind of optimism doesn't allow room for negative reflection. And I think negative reflection is important in that like...
Well, it's necessary.
I 100%. I absolutely think it is.
Yeah.
Because when something does go wrong, you have to learn from it. And the kind of optimist that Ted Lasso is, I'm not saying he doesn't learn from things, but it's like that bad thing just doesn't exist.
Right. which is unhealthy.
I think so.
And I mean, having not seen the show, I'm not sure how he deals with it, or if it's
I will say
a resolution.
I'm not gonna ruin anything because I believe in the show enough that like I think everyone needs a genuine experience.
Right.
But there are cracks within that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think like, if there is that genuine, the door is locked, when that door gets breached,
right,
devastation will occur.
I see it every day. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, you have to be willing to honestly let it come in, and you have to be willing honestly to embrace it.
I agree.
I think that's like that's kind of a Dreppen Stone mantra.
Yeah.
Of embracing the bitter.
Embrace the bitter. Yep.
Understand that like a bad thing is happening, and understand that like it's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, I think you're
okay.
and you're totally right in that. Like, I think the correct play is optimistic on the front end,
right?
In the middle of something, being realistic, and then on the back end, embracing that bitter and reflecting on that too,
right?
And like realizing, oh, that thing either did go as well or did not go as well as I thought it would, and that's okay. How can I move through this, or what can I learn from this? For sure.
Right. My general take is that your entry point into any given situation, whether you know it's going to be a bad thing or not, like within the just a thought.
Sure.
I brought up the concept of like when I responded to it, it was not a rainy day. It was a very sunny, hot day.
Right.
It's like heat wave that the country's dealing with right now. And I said that like anything that you're going to do outside today is going to suck.
Correct.
Because it's so hot. But it's having that just initial thought, just how you're going to go into the situation.
Right.
If you're optimistic going into it, you're already starting at a high point.
Exactly.
And so if you can have that positivity going into it, yeah, as the suck happens, sure, it might bring you down
incrementally. Right.
But you're starting.
You're probably at a better place. Exactly.
Whereas if you start low, it's only got the bottom to hit.
Correct.
You've only got lower to go.
That to our first example, that's a good point of like, if I go into McDonald's thinking this is the worst trash I've ever eaten, it will absolutely be the worst trash.
Right.
And it might even be worse than that.
And then you won't even be satisfied by it.
Right.
Or whatever. It's just going to be like, I knew this was a bad choice. And then you're just going to get even angrier. And then
like, this is what my life has come to.
That's when you start attacking cash registers and innocent people that had nothing to do with your bad decision.
But like, let's say, okay, like nobody who goes to buy a car is going into this thinking this is going to be an enjoyable experience. I'm going to have to sit at this car dealership. I mean, you just recently did this within the last, 2 or 3 months, give or take.
Yeah.
Nobody goes into that situation like, I think, like, I'm going to love this experience. I would go back and do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I would love to do this again tomorrow. Yeah.
Correct. But if you go into it thinking like, okay, I'm getting a new car, this is going to be a good experience, like things like the people who are helping me have my best interest,
right,
their best interest in mind, so they want to, get this done quickly. And if you go into that, like the experience is probably going to be better.
Happens.
Right. Like it's not as bad.
Right.
Like, you weren't approved for this loan, but you were approved for this one.
Well, not only that, it's like this should only take this amount of time.
Correct.
I'm so sorry. Like we're log jammed, so it's going to end up taking this amount of time.
Right.
You're better prepared to deal with that.
Exactly. And you're in a better mood.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that's okay. Like, just speed up as much as we can. However you deal with that.
Right.
But I think that's also like, that is the advantage to optimism, is you go into an experience hoping for the best.
That's the advantage of optimism going into a thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hoping for the best. And then like, you're probably going to have ultimately a better overall experience.
Right.
Whereas if you go in hoping for the worst, you're already starting there. You're already going to have the worst experience.
Right.
And it's so hard to come out of that negativity and have that better experience once you've like set the bar so low.
For sure.
The pitfall of optimism, however, to me is going into that experience, expecting the best experience. You don't. And then like, you just continually like strive for the best. Like, okay, well, that didn't happen. That's okay. Everything's fine. Like, okay, so this experience, like this didn't work out, but like, let's try this. And I feel like that, like to the point of detrimental optimism.
Yeah. I think what you're saying is, and I totally agree, is going into a situation positively, seeing the signs of like, nope, this is nowhere you need to be.
Right.
You need to get out.
And continuing.
But being like, nah, it'll work out.
Yeah.
And you keep pushing, you keep going, and more signs come up like, nah,
exactly.
It's time to get out. Don't do it. and then you're in too deep.
Exactly. And then you're trying to
no way
constantly
out.
convince yourself that this is fine.
Yeah.
This everything's
We're
okay.
okay.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, if you've seen that meme, I forget what it's from. I think it's from Adventure Time or something, where it's like the dog, and it's like a cartoon dog, and he's sitting in a house, and the entire house is burning down around him, and he's like, "This is fine.
Right.
Everything's fine. We're all okay."
Yeah.
Like that is optimism to a T.
Right.
Everything's detrimental. Okay. Yeah, that is detrimental optimism.
Right.
That is like, no, dude, like everything's not okay. Like you are not okay.
Right. Yeah.
And I think
you
that's
need help.
Yeah, that's what detrimental optimism does, is that it allows the individual to convince themselves that everything is okay, when really you need to take a step back and realize it's not, and be okay with that.
Right.
Everything's not okay. Give yourself permission for everything to not be okay. I had this conversation with a friend recently.
Right.
Everything's not okay. Give yourself permission for things to not be okay. You can't be the ever optimist, because that doesn't allow you to like process those things that suck.
Right. Agreed.
Thank you.
All right. So for you then individually, like how have you dealt with optimism over time?
Ooh. So I used to be a holistically negative person. I would go into almost every situation expecting the worst.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I think that was more of a personal thing. Like, I don't think I portray that outwardly. Like,
Right.
Carol knew that. But I think, like, for the most part, I went into almost every situation experiencing, like, expecting the worst. Sorry.
That's deep.
Oh, yeah. I always look for the negative in situations. Like, this is not going to be a good situation, and here's why.
But did you do that based off like experience, or was it just, you think that was just like your general
Kind
attitude?
of both. Like experiences I had in the past, or like if I tell myself this is not going to be a good experience, then I will be surprised when
Sure.
it is a good experience,
Right.
which never really works out that way. It always tends to be like what we've already talked about. If I go in thinking this is going to be a bad experience, I will manifest a bad experience. And
Or that's the Mary Jane or the MJ Watson
correct.
of, if you expect things to go wrong, then you're never disappointed.
Right. But what normally happens is if you expect things to go wrong, things will go wrong, which you
And
will
then
never
you're
be
just like,
disappointed in. Yeah,
okay.
for sure. And I see that. And that was me.
Yeah, it's like a failsafe.
But I think like here recently, and maybe even partly because of the show, like I'm choosing to be more optimistic.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like I'm going into situations with still a little bit of realism,
Right.
but I'm going into it like this is going to be a good situation. I'm not perfect in that. I just had an experience recently where like I even told Carol, this is not going to be good.
Right.
It ended up being fine. Like the situation was fine. There was no issues. Like it was a fine situation.
Do you think that hurts the argument?
I don't know. That's a
know.
good question. I don't know.
Because I've definitely done the same thing. I'm like, this is going to be awful.
I will say
And it wasn't too bad.
I will say what it does though. It changes how I engage in that thing.
Can I share?
Absolutely.
So recently I had to do a professional development at work.
Sure.
That was at my current location, somebody asked me to be a trainer. So I train new employees.
Right.
And I had to go to a class. And within that class, they had some of that god-awful, let's get to know each other kind of stuff.
Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that.
Those collaborative,
Yeah.
let's work together to find a solution here.
Sure.
And I was like,
Shoot me now.
pulled out my teeth, like put the bamboo shoots under my fingernails, anything else other than that. I don't
Right.
want to talk to anybody else. I'm here. Let's get this over with. Let's get it done so that I can do my job.
Correct.
It worked. And I hate to admit that it worked because it totally opened me up to everybody else that was sitting at the same table that I was. Mission accomplished. You did your thing. I'm so happy for you. And I hated it. I hated
You hated that it worked.
I hated that it worked. I was like, I don't want to talk to these people right now. I'm never going to see these people again. But your little activity of building a card house worked because it made me talk to everybody at my table and I learned their fucking names and it worked. Way to go. I'm so happy for you.
But it also worked.
And I hated it, and it
Yeah.
totally worked. And I had a negative attitude going into it.
So okay, that's
Turned
my
me
point
around.
though.
Turned me around.
So what if you went into it with a positive attitude? Does that mean you would have gotten a better experience? I don't know.
Right.
But I think you would have been ultimately happier in that. And that kind of goes to, I have a larger argument of like, happiness might be a choice. Now, to be fair, and I want to talk about this in terms of...
You're getting stoic.
No, I know.
That's getting stoic.
For sure. But I want to talk about this. Like, I recognize like mental health is a thing.
I love stoics, by the way.
I know you do. Mental health issues. Like, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm talking about. And this is a just a thought. I might have already released this just a thought. I might have not. Who knows? But like, I think that to some degree, choosing happiness or happiness is a choice. I can go into any situation and think about like, no, I'm going to choose optimism. I'm going to be happy in this situation and thereby creating a better situation for me and maybe even those around me.
Right.
Or I can go into the situation and choose, negativity or whatever the antithesis of optimism is. And I still might have a good experience, but I might create negative experiences for those around me.
Right.
And like, that's what I wrestle with.
Yeah. That's the hard part.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How does your reaction and your interaction
shape
with
others?
The thing shape others
And shape your experience too.
Right.
And I don't have an answer.
Yeah, totally.
I don't. And
dude,
that's
that's really good. If like it's not just about you.
No.
And you can have your experience with the thing, but your experience is going to also shape
others. That might be a good place to end.
Good on you, sir.
Thank you.
That was a good one.
I appreciate that.
That was deep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marinate in that for a little bit.
You should drink another little bit of a dram there. That might help things marinate. No.
No, it's just gonna pull them deeper in.
Oh, okay.
Really good.
Thanks. Well, you got anything else about optimism?
I do.
Oh,
I've got so much about optimism because you go into everything positively and like it's gonna affect everything. So
okay,
that's how it works. It starts at the beginning. So if you don't start positively, it doesn't. So yes, I do, but I'm gonna save it.
Good. Well, I don't know about good. It could be bad. It could be a bad situation. I don't know.
You're not wrong.
I'm going into it. Like I'm going into it though, thinking that it's going to be okay.
Cautiously.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I know how readily it cannot be okay. Is what I'm trying to say.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I think that's a good point. Of like it's almost like the sweet spot is still going into things positively.
Sure.
Even though
it might not work out.
More than likely,
right?
It might not, but
still, I think it's that blend
give
of
a chance.
Like, and here's my thought, just like on philosophy in general. You mentioned the Stoics earlier. That might have been cut out. I don't know, but who knows?
Whiskey.
Like, I don't think holistically one thing or the other is the right path. I think it's a blend of all of it.
1,000.
And so like going into things like 100% optimistically.
Yep.
You're setting yourself up for not good things. Going into something like 100% negatively, you're definitely not setting yourself up, or realistically. So I think it's like a blending of all of it.
Yeah, as true as with everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
moderation,
completely on one side, you're probably in a bad spot.
Correct.
Yep.
And I think the exploration of other thought processes and other perspectives, that is paramount.
That's the sweet spot.
There it is. Well, on that note, we want to know what you think about optimism.
Indeed. Is it a positive thing for you?
You thought I was going to say the whiskey.
Or is it a negative thing? I did. I was like, yeah, what do we think about that?
Optimism.
I like Jack Daniels. Especially the triple mash and the bonded.
Correct. And we want to know what you think about both of those as well, if you've had the opportunity to try those.
Indeed. Like, what's your take on that? Because, man,
bonded.
Right here, right now, yeah, that got my nose and my taste. So it'd be stupid to say otherwise.
Which I'm surprised in, only because you said that triple mash is what people have been gravitating towards.
I know.
I liked it.
Did that?
I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. I purposely tried to like put that out of my mind of like, what is the best here, and I legitimately think the bonded is the better.
I legitimately did not. So I was like, why do people not like this one? This is great.
So that's the one you wanted.
And I think I was optimistically looking for good things in it.
I get it.
I genuinely think I was.
Well, you can get in touch with us through email. That's dripandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
It's always one word, Drip and Stone, DREP and Stone. You find us, then you like us. You comment on a thing, you like a thing. So many good things, you're going to laugh at a thing. Just do those things.
For sure. And the conversation also continues on Patreon. That's patreon.com/dripandstone. Kyle, we've got stuff about the Jack Daniel's Bonded and Triple Mash up there right now.
Like 2 weeks from when you're seeing this.
Yeah.
It's already there. It's already been happening.
Those patrons, those lucky patrons, have already gotten all this stuff.
Indeed. You got to be there so that you can partake.
Optimistically
Partake in how good this stuff is.
Yeah, absolutely. You can also...
Or you could be pessimistically
Not
telling us
part of
how
Patreon.
wrong we are.
For sure.
about this
Either
stuff.
way, Patreon's the way to do that. Yeah, for sure.
It's a great conversation.
Yeah. You can also support Dripping Stone by rating us wherever it is you find great podcasts like this one. And finally, was that 2 thumbs way up? Is that what that was?
Way up.
Stick them wherever you want?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Ear holes.
Sure. Well, no, because then you won't be able to listen to the podcast.
Right.
Careful with that one.
Right.
Yeah. Woo. Who knows? And you can also support the podcast by telling someone about Dripping Stone. Hey, you seem to be a pessimistic person. Pessimistic?
Right.
Hey.
That super negative person at work. Hey, things don't seem to be going your way.
Yeah. Why don't you listen
know
to Dripping
what?
Stone?
Yeah. You know what might bring a little ray of light into your day?
Little Nick, little Kyle.
Little drip and stone.
Indeed. I love it. I love it. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
And your Jack Daniels never show.
You want to clink a glass with me?
Certainly. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Now we got 2 bottles. I can open one. You can open another.
We're doing a comparison.
Oh my God, Kyle.
I was so happy. I was like, it'll work. It'll do it. Awkward.
That's the sound the bottle makes when Kyle's searching things.
Ting, ting. Ting, ting, ting. Little Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
Little rinse, little wrestle.
Pardon you.
Sorry. Bad.
Hi, Maria.
Bring-
Would never mention the Joker ever again, even though we did an episode on that trailer.
No, we'll do it like a year later.
that'll be the
been
last.
on HBO Max for a year.
That'll be the
Hey,
last.
let's talk about the Joker.
That'll be the last episode. I feel like that's how we end. Whenever we decide to end this, that's how we end it. Wesley has been fed. Kyle has quelled the barking. The episode can continue. Ass shot in the camera. Totally leaving that one in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do what I do or sit the fuck down.
Yeah,
You
you're
choose.
right there, and you don't touch index cards.
Can also get in touch with us through email. It's gmail.com. Wait, nope. I
You
just
still
dripped-
had
I just
some
dripped-
and
I
you dripped
did.
it?
All over me. Damn it.